the beginning of the end. Of course, 6,000-year rule doesn't fall in the one day that we see a day as a person, but as a nation, one day is 1,000 years. So for him, that was 6 days. He will rule for 6,000 years, right? I don't make people to rule for 6,000 years. So the start of the rule is 8,400. From the year 8,400 to the year 9,000, the first 600. And then you hit, now we count from that point when we make our point going forward. All right. So the first 600 is like inside information, just like in the year 8,400, but it's really 8,600. The year 8,367, right? That date is in our head, in the year 8,367. So, once we know those parts of the lesson, like when it said half original, and I don't know all of the degrees on that, because there was a lot of stuff on Musa. But it's the correlation in it is the part where he's training the Europeans to come out of the caves. That's after the Exodus and all that, right? Okay, well, we could just cross-reference that and say, oh, but remember Ben and them had cross-referenced and said there wasn't no story like that in Kemet, that they never had no story like that with the greed and this, that, and the third. And then somebody else had some high-power lessons and they were showing and proving that. The stories, all of the stories that we hear, all of them come from ancient times. They just took them and just plagiarized them pretty much. And just said this is the time zone when it took place. It didn't take place, but their little order, whenever they manifested their little order, and that grew into this big, pretty much it's like a conglomerate, because the other Europeans say they're incorporated and in on it too, with the Vatican, the Federal Reserve, and this, that, and the Rothschilds. You know how we can simplify it to 10%, right? So you gotta know these different fractions, because you got, yes, the devil, but you got the 10% over here. How does that apply? You gotta know how to apply. And they say the devil versus the 10%, or say the European, or the Roman soldier. See, it depends on how it's correlating. You can get an understanding, but you definitely need 120. Once you have 120, because you have your mathematics and your alphabets like you would give that to your children so they don't have to, if they're in public schools especially. You teach them through osmosis the other times, but pretty much after you hit the first degree in 1 and 10, that's what it's all going back down to. Are you unprogramming yourself, or you resistant? It's easier to talk to your DNA through food than it is through visual. I can talk to you through food and use visual to send you right back to it, but the craving has to already be there. And they put the craving in way back in 1555. They put the shit in you and worked it until time and time. And now they don't even have to put it in you. You put it in you. You do it. And we're resistant, very resistant. I was resistant too. It took things that made me see shit that made me unresistant. Because you don't see it, you don't know. When I first saw Poison Animal Eater, and then I listened to what Elijah said, the perishing desire for meat. And then I heard the Father say that meat is poison to the body. Damn, that's some major players that just threw meat under the bus. So why are we still advocating meat to eat? Right? So you look back and you see where the Father told them to stop doing it. And then you think now, who was he talking to? It had to be young people, children, adolescents. They didn't know what they were doing. How could they know what they were doing? And our whole nation didn't really know that, how to eat to live. We got to switch over. Children may have been able to think about it and do the switch quicker, but they may have not had the means to do it, to make the transition so they don't hurt their physical composition. He had to consider that. That you didn't even know how to eat to live. Especially on the level of you talking about not eating animals. You got to know what you're doing when you trying to have a developing child grow. And you don't know. And if you don't in control of the source of food, that could change it. And if you're a child, usually you're not in control of the source of food. So you have to work with what's coming in. And maybe it's not sufficient if you only have to pick from it pieces from out of what the family is bringing in that's right and exact. Might be 2 things right and exact, 10 things not right and exact. Yes, even though they're eating those things that are not right and exact, they still getting certain nutrients from it that you're going to be missing. So he had to do that. We're supposed to look at the lessons as, okay, now, if you're a grown-ass man, you'd be able to control the food. Even if you don't have a source of income. Hell, you wouldn't, if you didn't have a source of income and you still could control it, they're going to try to give you crazy shit to eat, but you don't got to eat it. He said, and they tried to give me something to eat, but I didn't eat it. When he was upstate, up north, when they incarcerated him. Try to say he was crazy or whatever the hell they was trying to say. Schizoid and whatever they used to say about you. Even in medieval times and all the way up, the European call you crazy if you say anything about God that doesn't look like the way they see it in their viewership. They ran throughout the country tearing shit up because they thought that your view on God wasn't their view on God, and you better be viewing it the way we view it. They did it all throughout the world. You can see it's all split up. They want to be either Catholics or Protestants. That's the real breakdown. You can call yourself any of them other little names that go under it, but that's pretty much where it's all got the root from. And then the other side is Eastern Orthodox, which is still really Catholic. And Eastern Orthodox is really the same foundation where it all split from. They all coming from there. Just say what you want. What's the foundation to European Christianity? It's Eastern Orthodox and the Vatican, Rome and all of that. Rome, the Vatican, Eastern Orthodox Church, the Greeks and all of that. Wherever their headquarters are at. Over on this side, more prominent, we see the Vatican and the Protestants from Martin Luther in Germany. Everything's splitting off from that because all those little different English ideologies of Christianity is still either coming from Martin Luther or the Vatican. Where else is it coming from? Okay, tell me. You gotta go way back to get to Constantine, and that's still going with the Romans, right? Still going with the Romans. Vatican is going with the Vatican. What? Who else is it? They going against the Vatican. Okay, so now they want to split off. Angelican and all them. Whichever side they picked that they wanted to be down with. And they was fighting against each other and everything, and they killing this one and that one, and all these different fractions come up. Makes me think of the same thing that the Muslims did with the 4 caliphs. They all split up, came at each other, start killing off the major players so this family could take over this. It was all about dough. They was trying to get control of the tourists and the people who are just regular people who want to be renowned and love the idea of Muhammad getting words from the angel Gabriel and giving them the man. They really on that. They going to go get it. They're the regular people, but the people who are dealing with the commerce part of it to make sure that the crowd could move. They move the crowd, as Rockin would say. Move the crowd. They move them. Well, you think they moving them? They're not getting paid, man. Everybody want to buy water. Everybody wants some food. Everybody wants a place to stay in between going from point A to point B. And they're providing it. So it's about money. You're into the religion and renown. They probably got a Quran too. They read it. But they about that dollar. So that's the same thing with the church. The church read the Bible and they teach you the Bible and they tell you everything's supposed to be right and exact. It ain't this, that, and the third, right? But at the end of the day, they about that dollar. They getting that money. They providing the service and you paying for it. And this is what it is. And you can see it and be mad, it is what it is. They trying to hook you up with some Bibles, you gotta hook them up with some gold. That's how we gonna do this. Alright, we gonna do all the research for you and study and tell you how to get to God and you give us some dough. What? It ain't that? That's how children see it, definitely. They got a good mind. They know how to see it without being caught all up in the politics and the religious aspect of it. They just look at it for what it is. Hey. So then they make a choice. Am I going to be a teacher of this or am I going to teach myself? And that's how you start getting Protestants and this and Pentecostals. And everybody start wanting to break off on their own and be like, man, you don't need them to do it. But at the end of the day, a lot of them be trying to get that dollar tip. You see what I'm saying? That's how it's going down. So, the father kind of kicked everybody, boom, and made them all kind of get mad at him because he went to the babies and just gave them the whole real deal. Like, here goes the lesson. That's how it really goes down, son. Ha ha! Teach your friends this. Come back when you absorb that and I give you some more. That's a short, long story short. It's simplistic, but pretty much that's what went down. Come see me, I got you. However he showed and proved to them that made them want to do it, they could tell you those stories, right? But at the end of the day, right? Simplicity. So, once he injected that math inside of the young people's minds, of course they went and told their friends, yo, my man. Like when I got, and I said to I got, yo, my man. And he was like, yes, sir. So what? It's how it is. It went down like that. Once I got him, it was a wrap, of course. Once I got it, I went and seen under. I'm like, yo, different level. So I'm saying that to say, when you get knowledge yourself, you're able to see things in just regular life that other people won't see it. They won't know that took place. It just goes right by them. They don't see it. So your job is to expose it without exposing yourself. See, I know we not 10%, but we don't gotta let them know it's you. Dude, look at past history. Think of Medgar Evers. He was just a regular dude doing regular shit. Showing people how to get voters registration. In his little town in Jackson, Mississippi area and all that. He was doing Mississippi. And now, in those days, they didn't even have the internet. No one else knew he was doing it unless he was right there. He got powerful mad and shot him. See? Because the devil get mad. Really, really powerful mad. If you trying to get knowledge yourself. Doesn't like it. See, they just made a law so in New York, you could wear natural hair if you're a woman. Other than that, they could try to fire you for it, or they might still be trying to fire. A lot of sisters are doing it defiantly, but they know that the European doesn't really favor that look. Just like they know under pressure, people don't give their children ethnic names because they think that they're going to be frowned upon by the European. You see the pressure that they're under? That's what I'm saying. Knowledge of self, they don't even know they're under that pressure, but they do it. But they don't know why. They just know that it's better to do it this way. He have a better chance at life if he's lighter. That's what the girl told me. Well, I always used to say, why did my mother marry that black man? He was so dark. She's Dominican, right? She said, he's so dark. And all of us came out so dark. She said only like 3 of them came out light. And she said they had light and they had good hair. That's what she's telling me, right? And she said all of us got this nappy shit. And we got to put perm in it. And we all dark. And we got these big noses and lips and shit and these features. And I was like, whoa, unconscious as a motherfucker. And then she goes on to telling me about Jesus. Our people are gone. But I'm just saying that to say the programming, the type of psychological programming that makes us believe that we're inferior and they're superior and their look is better than our look. Knowledge of self can fix that, you know? That's the point of knowledge of self, is to fix the damage that he's done to us, but he did it because he didn't want you to have high self-esteem. How's he going to enslave you the way he wanted to if you have high self-esteem and you know who you really are? No, that won't work. Gotta break you down. That's why you know it was a prisoner of war camp, because nowhere on the planet has slaves been treated that way. Nowhere. You can't find no slaves nowhere on earth that were treated the way he treated you from Alaska to Chile. I know y'all be trying to separate yourselves, but it's y'all. From Alaska to Chile, the way he treated y'all, he didn't really get the other ones that way. He did that over here. And that enabled him to make us either speak Portuguese, French, Spanish, English. Ain't a lot of other European languages. At the end of the day, those are the ones who really won this war over here and took this shit from themselves and from the other Europeans and from us, right? Because we were here first, and they came and took our shit, and they brought some of us over here. But most of us that was over here, they came from over there. They brought ourselves over here. We was already here when he got here. That's why the DNA matches up over there. You feel me? I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Go under the water and you'll see the same giant cities like you see in Egypt and all those other places under the water. Going around that 30th north and that 30th south degrees, like I told you with the Capricorn and all that. Yes. Look at it, son. That's what I'm telling you. So, at the end of the day, yes. Yes, in the answer to your question, the God is right. There is rules to this. And I remember the old guard used to say, oh, because I remember somebody said something crazy and used the math, and then somebody was trying to discredit the math with it. But all that did was make us show and prove just by going to the first degree. Go to King Now Cipher Wisdom, Lord Equality, Divine God Equality. And it born equality. Now the correlation I'm showing you is that knowledge and born equality and one and understanding the culture and a law and knowledge. Well, that was knowledge before we said that already, right? All of those correlate and all come out to be numero uno, right? They all go together. Some would even say IHVH. That's at that level, right? So, Tahoe, all that, right? Take it on back to eel and all that. The ancient names, right? So, and then you go and you look at 96. We're going to come back to the 96, right? We're going to go back to born equality. And we're going to go into the Quran. And we're going to see that the 96th surah, and first 5%, the 96th surah in the first 5 ayats, is the actual first degrees that Muhammad received. And the angel Gabriel told him to make those degrees. He told them what order it should be, and that should be the 96th surah. That wasn't haphazard. You can look for it yourself. Go to the 96th surah, son. And then you say to yourself, you go and you read the bottom part, or the history to the 96th surah. So once you get into the history of the 96th surah, first of all, it's the 96th chapter, they call it, it's the surah. And then it goes into ayats, right? And so what you read, it says the first 5 verses, or that would be the first 5 ayats of this chapter, are by universal admission the first revelation which the Holy Prophet received. See that? I end my argument right there. And I say, there, it shows and proves, chapter 96. And here's the correlation. King Now Cipher Wisdom, Lord equality, divine God equality, born equality. So wherever it's going, if it's a law's word, so you gotta keep staying in law word, you be all right. Start veering off and born in this word and born in that word. Well, you gonna get all kind of numbers because you dealing with the devil. We in the middle of the war, Armageddon, and don't think the devil don't know mathematics. He knows too, but he's still the devil. Doesn't matter. He's still the devil, so you gotta be careful with his man. But 95% of the time to 99.9% of the time, that's the ratio. You could bet it's they shift the 0 from 90 to 01. And then they went 0, 1 to the negative, 2 to the negative, 3 to the negative, like that. That's where they went. So that's what really would go down. But anyway, the point I'm making is, see that? Read in the name of thy Lord who creates. You see, that read part is the hit. That's the hit. Bow! That's the bang up. Read. Because the rest of it, in the name of thy Lord who creates, that's a manifestation. But without read in front, it doesn't bring it into read. You need to read. Reading, the first degree is knowledge and reading, right? Ain't that something? Reading. Get to reading, brother. Stop standing over there playing yourself. Read. And then it goes into the clot. Air particles in a clot of blood attach itself to the uterus wall. Showing and proving there's the knowledge from the gate. See, it's not like we making up this science. It's manifested across the board. So, if the clot attaches itself to the uterus wall, that shows and proves that the life was made manifest within the procreation at the unified positions that the baby has when the egg and the sperm touch. Once it, boom, light up, shining, it's on and popping right then and there, right? And what the next one says, read, goes right back into read. And being generous and this, that, and the third, right? So it goes into read, and then, right, because you need accumulated fact, because it's dealing with the knowledge. That first 5 is dealing with reading. And then what? It goes right into who taught by the pen, right? So you're going to read in the name of thy Lord, most gracious, and then you're going to go right into who taught by the pen. Taught by the pen, son. Pen mean reading, writing. Because now if it's pen, it's not only just reading, but writing. You could read and not write so well. You know, I might not be a writer that people like to read what you write. But if people do like to read what you write, then you, as a writer, are also a reader, right? And so you have to learn penmanship. how to write. You can't just only know how to type, but you can't just know how to write and not know how to type. You're gonna need them both, right? So as we go on, we're gonna go and taught man what he knew not. Now, how did you not know? Because think about it. After he took you and took your tribe and took your land and took over your agriculture and took over your shelter and pretty much put you in a prisoner of war camp because he took it by war, he took it by force. Put you in prisoner of war camp and then raised your children. Told them some old crazy story about he found y'all in the middle of the deepest, darkest Africa. Brought your ass over here on some chain on Mothership Jesus. Now I ain't saying he ain't do that to some of us. But not all of us. The lessons show and prove we was circumnavigated the planet before he even was manifested, before Yakub made him. Not the albino one that went up into the caves, lived up in the northern hemisphere of what they call Asia now. Not that. They came from the original man too. Right? Because we make albinos without Yakub. Don't we? We make albinos without Yakub. We don't need Yakub's manifestation to make albino. We can make those now. Like we can make them back then. So that was made manifest too. And what about the Patagonia? Leave Patagonia and come back to Mecca. Some of the Phoenicians took their asses to Patagonia. They went there and lived happily until the European brought his ass over here from over there. Okay, that different European. That's them. Yakub's children are the ones that's running things right now. It ain't them. Them other ones ain't running it. Yakub's children are running it. That's the type of European. That's why he said 551 years ago and you for you. Them the Europeans that put foot to your ass. That's who you dealing with. They still putting foot to your ass. Them 551-year-old ones that got their science in that ratio. Right? People don't know that. They think it's, no. Unless, if you're in Brazil or somewhere like that, then yours might be them from Catholic Vatican. But if you're here in the wilderness North America, your oppressor came from England. That's why you speak English. So you don't even know who your oppressor is. You don't know what the hell's going on. Because you got the same religion as your oppressor, so you can't differentiate. What he got, you got. You got what he got. You him, he you. You all together. Okay, you could do that too. The virus can be set off from within. Still, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your religious thinking is. It matters, do you have knowledge of yourself, or do you believe Darwin's stories? Or do you believe the Vatican stories? Or do you believe Martin Luther's story, which his story come from the Vatican? So what? That's all the same. Henry VIII, that shit still come from the Vatican. And all the rest of them. They all stem from the Vatican. Tell me it don't. Show me how it not. Yes, it does. Greek or whatever. They all go back to Greece. They love going back to Greece. Let's go back to Greece. We're going to take them all the way back to Greece. And that's it. The fraternities all go back to Greece. No, the Masons, they all go back to Greece. That's where they stop at. They stop you right there. And they come up with Egyptology to hide all of the real science that has anything to do with showing and proving that you're the original man. And once you know and understand that you're the original man, all the dominoes start falling. It is what it is. Even J.A. Rogers was still talking that Negro and Caucasoid and Mongoloid. He still was using that language, but he was showing and proving that the so-called Negroid was the foundation to the planet. That made all the dominoes fall. So even though he didn't even know the other part of knowledge of self, just the fact that knowledge of self is show and prove, it kills their whole theory. Once you go look up Sitchin's books and you do that kind of research, that theory's gone. Because if you go see the stuff yourself, how can they hide it when you go look at it yourself? Go look. Trust me. The Olmec heads don't look like Man, can you imagine how long they hid? You think people from 1865, original people, knew that Olmec heads looked like that as in the masses? They didn't know. And even right now, you got people right now believe that the Europeans, even if they see those Olmecs and all that, because stuff is very prevalent as far as exposure. And so even though they know that, they see what's happening right now, and they say, yeah, well, back in the days, those big stone heads and shit look like they could be black people, even if they don't know about them. And they see them, they'll know that. But they still going to bleach their skin. See? That means self-hate is inside, embedded in this. It's on the hard drive. You can't undo that kind of damage until you have two kind of foods, a mental food and a physical food. You can't just feed yourself high science mental food, because if you're feeding yourself high science mental food, it's automatically going to make you change your physical food, because that's part of the science. There's rules to this shit, like the God said. It ain't just rules on only born in the laws, mathematics. If we gonna go out and we just gonna go by this strict rule, man, listen. Then definitely no cigarettes. If you drinking alcohol, shouldn't be any alcohol from grain. That's for damn sure. It was supposed to be outlawed. No grain alcohol. It had to be something like honey or something. You seen 13th Warrior, whatever that movie is, where he wouldn't drink the alcohol was made from grain. And he said, no, it's from honey. All right? I'm going to find that clip for you. Put that shit on Facebook. You're going to see what I'm talking about. But anyway, what I'm saying is, the point I'm making is, these rules. Listen to that second tape of the father on how he told us what to eat and what not to eat. Not even... I heard somebody said they're going to follow what their father said. And I'm listening to what they're saying. I'm only going to follow what the Allah said. And then we go out to eat. And that's not what Allah said eat. So, what are you talking about? Now all of a sudden, we could bend the rule. Well, we should be able to bend the rule on everything then. Don't be bending the rule when it bends the rule is bending for you. And now when somebody else's rule is bending, then they can't bend their rule. Well, they could bend it, but now I'm looking at it from another perspective. I'm saying, why are we bending the rules? I thought we were trying to come up out of this. Like, we're going to advance ourselves. But we still doing the same old shit that the 85s are doing. We get the same problems and ailments and everything they got. So how is knowledge of self so right and exact if you got the same thing I got? Right? We getting diabetes. We getting hypertension. We're getting kidney stones. We're getting dialysis machines. We're getting Alzheimer's. We're getting cancer. We're getting all of the things that you get if you go unaccording to the dietary laws of knowledge of self. That's what we're getting. Now, even if you thought you was going according to it, but you weren't, but you thought you was, and you got sick, and you said, damn, I was doing it right and exact, and I got sick. No, that's not how you're supposed to see it. You're supposed to say, I was doing something wrong, and I didn't know it, because you might have not known, because the devil is very, very cunning, and he puts poison in shit, and you don't even know it's there. You're not consciously doing it. You're not. But the programming is so good and so well placed on the hard drive. He imprinted it on you. That even when we show you, hey, that's a live graphic journal from original. It's devil. You don't want to stop eating it anyway. Well, I'm eating it anyway. You get mad. Whoa. I'm doing it. I ain't going to have nothing to eat. See? You ain't even opening your mind saying, well, the devil is giving me that. What did God give us to eat? What did the law say we could eat? Because the law gave us rules and regulations which are not being enforced on the original population. But nevertheless, they still exist. And of course, you don't have to follow them if you don't want to. That's your call. Ain't no, if he didn't set law, how am I going to do it? This is the law. This is what you're supposed to do. These are the rules and regulations. Don't do this. Don't. Where's it at? I want to read it for myself. Go. Well, you can see How to Eat to Live, book 1 and book 2. That's a good way to start. Like I heard people talking about, but I ain't going to be able to have no potassium. Man, if you was doing How to Eat to Live, you wouldn't even thought about that because a navy bean has more potassium in it than a banana, especially that old grafted ass banana. And I'm not saying I didn't eat them. I ate them too until I saw that. When I saw that, I said, oh, the motherfuckers. But I knew something was wrong because I kept saying, those little seeds can grow. Can they grow? Because if they could grow, then it's right and exact. But if those little seeds can't grow, then it's not right and exact. And those little seeds can't grow bananas. That means that those bananas are fucking clones. Oh my God. So I can imagine how I felt. I'm the one found it out from looking and doing research. And I'm looking at that shit saying, damn, they banging us in the head with everything. What the fuck? That shit ain't cool. Of course, when I can figure out how to... See, I don't tell everybody at all when I first discover it. Because I don't have a remedy all the time. I might have just found it out and like, oh shit, what's the remedy? So I try to find a remedy. You don't say... taking shit away and then don't give them nothing to replace it. Like they tried to replace Christmas with Kwanzaa. They wanted to switch it over to help the people who is so addicted to Christmas. They can't, you give them something to replace it with. And give them knowledge of self in it. Make it cultural. That's what is everybody's trying to heal our DNA. We should be trying to heal it our damn self too, We shouldn't be just staying with what the devil gave us. No sirree, Bob. So anyway, that came from, we got to born those. You got to born the Lord's word. That's why you could born from knowledge to born in the cipher. And you could born from a law to zigzag zig. Some people going into the 120 and born it. But if you do, you got to use the 600-year process rule. If it's the devil, then it's going in the negative zone. If it's God, then it's going in the positive zone. And you'll be all right. So when you're saying devil, and it says 7 is -7. It's a -7. So it's 14 degrees off. All right? And I'm out. Peace.